So guys, if you've watched my videos for a while, you know I'm kind of getting into drones. I had the Phantom 3 Standard, I have the Mavic Pro, I've reviewed some of the smaller mini drones by Parrot, and now I have the GoPro Karma. So this is the case the drone comes in. Okay, so here is the case itself. What I really like is that when you get the package from retail or order it online, like this is the box it comes in. So it's a very good use of packaging. There's nothing really wasted. There's a handle on it right here. There's a handle on it on the top, wherever that is, right here. And then just like a normal backpack, it's got two straps. It's got this cushioning on the back, more cushion for the slight pushing. And it has all the little holes in it for breathability, so your back shouldn't get too sweaty. And yeah, it's just a really good hard shell case. If it gets thrown around, if stuff gets thrown on top of it, your drone should be well protected. Yeah, so let's open it up so you can see what's inside. I've already flown the drone once, so in this video I'm just going to be giving you my first impressions of that. So here's inside. This isn't exactly what you'll get when you order it because there are a few extras. So right here are the two extra batteries that we purchased. You can see the power. This one has no battery left because we just used this one when we flew it. And then here's another spare. That one has full battery. But I do like that they do give you room for extra batteries even though they don't come with it. So the other things in this case are the controller right here, the drone, and the gimbal. Okay, so this is what the Karma looks like. It's not the smallest thing. It's definitely not a Mavic. So it does fold out, but not really that much. So there's how big it is. And kind of like the selling feature of this is that it works with your GoPro. So this is the GoPro Hero 5. Shoots in 4K, obviously, but you can remove the gimbal, if I can figure it out. So you just unlock it, there's your gimbal right there, and I guess while it's in my hand, let me show you what it does. And this gimbal actually goes into this. So, and then now you have a handheld gimbal. So you just turn it on, the handheld thing has its own power, and now you have this amazing gimbal that it works really good. Like I've used the gimbal already more than the drone, and you're gonna have like really amazing shots. You can probably see my whole room and it's not even out that far. Like this is an ultimate selfie stick. So the GoPro Karma to me isn't the best drone on the market, but it's like the best value, possibly the best drone for beginners. Kind of those people that love GoPros, love videography, this is like that first step. Nothing's too complex, and there's a lot of things that you can get your money for. So if you have a GoPro, now you have a gimbal, and you have a drone, you can make some really good video from the land and the air. Also, this, like I said, this isn't a full review or anything, but I really love how the gimbal itself, it has all these controls. So the controls kind of go hand in hand with the GoPro right there itself. Just remember, you need to charge the GoPro itself and you need to charge the gimbal. So the gimbal has battery life right there. And the gimbal battery is totally different from the drone. So just keep that in mind too. All you gotta do is just turn it and then it pops right off. So then to put the gimbal back on, you basically just look at the USB Type-C plug and just line it up. And it's easier said than done, especially when I'm on camera. There's so much pressure to perform when you're on camera. So you press it in, and then there is just a little twist and you lock it. And when I was folding these arms out, I hear like sand and stuff grinding in it. And we didn't even take this to the beach yet. And that was only from like dust. So I really question how these arms are gonna hold up. I've never heard that grinding noise with the Mavic. Another cool thing, like I mentioned how this drone's so easy to use. To remove, I'm gonna stab myself in the eye with one of these propellers. To remove the battery, all you have to do is just pull this. And it comes right out. So the batteries themselves actually have this little pull tab that kind of expands. So it makes it really easy just to pull it out. And it's a little bit different because on the DJI drones, you turn the drone on itself by pressing the button on the battery. The button on the Karma battery is simply just for checking the status. This drone has its own dedicated power button, so you just tap right there and then it turns on. We're gonna turn this right back off because my luck, it's gonna turn on and chop my face off. And as you can see, it has the same type of gimbal as the grip, so you're gonna get that same smooth footage. And then two, this actually has landing gear, so you just pop it out. It's all very just basic feeling, you know, it's nothing fancy. I would use that probably at all times so the drone's not right on the ground. Oh, and just to show you, this is the difference between the Mavic and the Karma, side by side. Like, I gotta go way back for the Karma to fit in. And then this is the Mavic itself compared to a Karma battery. This is the battery that fits in the GoPro Karma. This is the Mavic. Okay, so on to the controller of the Karma. So just for comparison again, while we're comparing them, this is the GoPro controller. This is the Karma controller. The only difference is that the Mavic controller actually opens up like this, has antennas, and you put your phone in here. So one issue I have run into with that, you have to make sure your phone's charged. You have to make sure you have the right cable. There's been times where I've been ready to go fly my drone and I remember I don't have my iPhone with me, I have my Galaxy device, so I have to pack the micro USB cable instead. So these days there's 3 different cables, micro USB, USB Type-C, and then also Lightning. So you have to make sure you have all of those cables with you if you use a different amount of devices, whether you're gonna use a tablet or a phone. One thing to keep in mind too, though, that you use your own device with this. So as devices get better picture quality, better screen quality, better brightness, you can always kind of upgrade with this. Whereas with the Karma, you're just kind of stuck with this screen, with this OS. If this gets laggy, then there's not much you can really do about it. If your user interface on this gets laggy, you just get a new phone. Also keep in mind, this battery lasts a crazy long time. This battery is at 97%, where the battery on this isn't gonna last very long at all because keep in mind, this is the controller and the screen as well. So you can maybe get a few flights out of it. If you're a person like me that has, 3 total GoPro batteries, then this one, the battery life in this may not last much longer than all of your batteries. So keep that in mind when you're going out and about. It does have USB Type-C though, just like all the other accessories, so that is super convenient. You could just get a USB Type-C car charger or battery pack and you're good to go. Also too, keep in mind there's no like antennas on this. There's really not too much to it, it's just very simple. On the top of the controller right here, we have the wheel for the gimbal and we have the record button and the mode button. And then this is what the user interface looks like itself. You swipe up to get started. And there's also a spot for updates. And what I really like is that it lists all the different objects. So obviously, to fly this drone, you have the GoPro camera, you have the gimbal, you have the controller, all that stuff. So this part of the app will actually update everything for you, which is really nifty because in the past, updating your GoPro was a pain in the butt. And there's actually a flight simulator built into this. Nothing new, the DJI Mavic has that as well. But I think it's pretty cool to get used to. You can kind of fly it inside for the first time if you're new to flying drones. So I'm gonna use the simulator to show you how it works. So all you gotta do is hold down this to start your engines.
3, 2, 1.
And then it starts. I really do like that voice. It makes you feel fancy. And now once that comes up, all you gotta do is tap there to auto take off, or you can use this controller as well, the joystick. So one option is return to launch and one option is return to home. So I really like that that is very easily laid out for you. Say for example, you're flying your drone, you take it off from a boat and you say return to home. On most other drones, if you're not specific and don't update your home point, it's gonna return to where the drone took off, meaning where the drone was GPS coordinate wise on that boat. If you're on a boat, you would say return to you. There are literally no sensors on the bottom. There's none on the front. There's none on the back. You could easily crash the drone into a tree and the drone wouldn't have seen it coming. The landing is very just, to me, I don't want to say archaic because that sounds bad, but when you're landing, there's nothing stopping from the drone from just smacking into the ground. The Mavic, it knows it's landing, so it slows down. It gets into landing position. It's just very, seems almost impossible to crash. With this, it's literally you're in control. It's very simple, but you can certainly F things up if you're not careful either. But then again, what I really love, like I'm definitely coining, I coined the Phantom 3 Standard the best drone for beginners. That was in 2016. I'm thinking the GoPro Karma is the best drone for beginners of 2017, simply for the fact that it's so easy. This is the controller. You don't have to worry about downloading an app. You don't have to worry about using a smartphone. There certainly are people, I bet, out there that aren't very comfortable with smartphones, but if you handed them this, they would know how to find the power button and know how to do all the basic stuff. And there's not too many buttons where you're going to get overwhelmed. And also just the Karma itself, I think is very accessible to people because it has that GoPro name. So people may not be as intimidated by getting something GoPro branded versus someone buying a DJI drone just because they've never really been familiar with their products. I would probably say a big percentage of the population has either owned a GoPro, seen a GoPro, or at least familiar in what it does. So that's a really great thing there. And then just the fact that the Karma comes with its own backpack. It comes with a gimbal. And even certain bundles come with the GoPro itself. So for about the price of the Mavic, you can get the Karma bundle with the GoPro, with the gimbal, with the bag for about $1,100, which is a pretty good deal to me. Just keep in mind though, you're gonna have a bad time if you compare this apples to apples to the Mavic. Like you saw before, this thing is so much bigger. Size comparison isn't a competition at all. The battery life isn't as good. You're gonna get maybe 20 minutes on a really good day. Most likely you're gonna start to fly back around the 15-minute mark, so keep that in mind. Batteries are $100. I would advise you to buy at least 2 more. No one wants to drive an hour to an awesome location just to fly for 15 minutes and be done. You need extra batteries. Also, another thing to keep in mind, it's a little obnoxious, but you're gonna have to be charging 4 things total. You're gonna have to charge the controller, you're gonna have to charge the GoPro itself, you're gonna have to charge the battery, and then you're gonna have to charge the gimbal. So if you wanna go out and about and shoot all day long, you're gonna need all that stuff charged. Like I said, luckily it's USB Type-C. You can easily get a USB Type-C charger, so you can charge your GoPro and your gimbal and the controller, like when you're driving to a location. The only thing to keep in mind though, the batteries themselves are not USB Type-C. It's just like this proprietary charger. You just plug it into the wall. And like I said before, the GoPro Karma is like, I'm coining it the best drone for beginners. So I shouldn't really dock it for not having the features, but in comparison to the Mavic, the GoPro has so many less like smart features. So on the Mavic, you can basically tap yourself on the screen and it will follow you. It will follow you, it will follow a car, a boat, whatever. So you can get some pretty cool cinematic shots, as you would imagine, because you can even kind of focus on somebody and then you can tell it to kind of loop around. So you can get some crazy depth perspective going on there, which I've kind of messed around with the Mavic before. With the GoPro, there's very limited smart features. Like I said, this isn't the full review, so I'm not going to go over those quite yet. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed for the very, full review. But I'm trying to think, like if you're not a beginner and you're comfortable with, you know, drones, I would definitely get the Mavic. Because where the GoPro tries to excel, which is like portability, like it's no Phantom 3 or Phantom 4 where it's that big, like it lays down, so you can benefit from a smaller bag. You're not gonna look like a Ninja Turtle or anything. It isn't the smallest drone, but something is keeping me from hating it. Like the Mavic and the Karma can definitely coexist side by side, and I don't think they're designed to compete towards each other, just because, like I said, the Mavic does so many things, and it does so many things well. It's got sensors, it has smart modes, the app just has more features. You can sync your flights with DJI, everything like that. Whereas the GoPro, it's very simple. It uses your GoPro camera you already have. The controller is completely self-contained, so you have the screen and the joysticks here. All the updates are done through here. You don't have to worry about having any dongles or which phone you're using. You can leave your phone at home if you want to. As long as this thing is charged and charged often, you're good. USB Type-C support's amazing. So yeah, if you're thinking about getting the GoPro Karma, I definitely say go for it. Like obviously there's a reason that you're looking at it, go for it. If you like GoPros and like their software, it's great. Another thing to keep in mind though, which could be a deal breaker for some people, the GoPro, at least this Hero 5, if you want to shoot in 4K, you're forced to shoot in this super wide view. And you know what I'm talking about, this wide view, like it makes the earth look round. Like it gives that almost fisheye effect. With the Mavic, there's no such thing. The camera is so much more, you know, narrow, it's flat. It's not even as wide as the Phantom 4 Professional. It's like that much more like cropped in. But the GoPro is that other level. It's like super wide and you can't even change it. At least from what I've seen in my time of using GoPros, you can't change the 4K to 4K normal view. Because what I'm thinking the software does, if you want to go from 4K wide to just like a normal view, it's going to have to crop in on the picture. And when you crop in on the picture, you lose resolution. So I think 1440p has an option to do slightly less wide, but if you just want like a normal, you know, I don't know, 50mm field of view type of thing, you're going to have to shoot in 1080p, which if you want a 4K drone, this does do 4K, but for the time being, the GoPro Hero 5 is limited to super wide or wide 4K. So, of course, I'll put some comparisons like as this video is playing so you can see all that. I definitely can recommend this drone now. If someone comes to me and says, hey, you know, I love videography, I love GoPros. Well, I don't think they'd be that specific, but they say, hey, I love videography, I love taking pictures, I love taking video, I want to get into flying a drone, you know, what would be the first drone to fly on? Like, I can certainly recommend this. I know it's not the cheapest drone, and a lot of people would think a beginner drone would mean like $100. People do have their viewpoints. They think, get a cheap drone to fly on, learn to fly manual. But heck, in my point of view, get a good drone, get a drone with GPS so it's super stable, learn to fly with that, and then you won't be frustrated. When you fly a drone like this with GPS, the Karma isn't the most stable drone in the world, but for the most part, when you let go of the controller, it's just gonna sit there, give or take, you know, a little bit. It's not the most perfect thing when it comes to that. It's impossible, if you are paying attention and you're not being stupid, it's impossible to crash this thing. You press a button, it goes up. You move the control stick forward, it moves forward. If it gets lost, you press it to come back home. It literally comes back home by itself. Once again, this was my first impression, not an official review, so I can't really say if I don't like this or like it yet, but so far from the first flight, from just playing with everything, it definitely has its spot in my heart as one of the most simple, easy to use drones. So let me know in the comment section below what you want me to do with this drone. You know, what places should I take it? What should I do with it? In what ways should I compare it to the Mavic Pro? Because of course I have that too. I want to do like a range test between the two. I want to maybe do a race. I want to do... Oh, and then obviously, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So when I review the Karma, I'm going to use my Mavic to fly above it to get video of the Karma. That blows my mind. Like, that's next level stuff right there. That's going to get me to the 100,000 subscribers that I need. If you've made it this far, you're a special person that you've kept up with my craziness. Don't forget to like the video before you leave. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And I'll see you later. Bye.